Okay, so let's take a look at how to open Lightroom, import some photos from an SD card or any other external device, get them into Lightroom, make a couple of quick changes, and then we're even going to look at how to export them out of Lightroom. So, the first thing that we want to do is let's start Lightroom, and there's a couple of different ways that we can do that. The easiest way for you is to click on your Adobe Creative Cloud icon up here at the top of the screen and just go down to Lightroom and click Open. That ensures that you're always opening the latest version of Lightroom. And so we'll give it a second to let it open. And it may take it a couple of minutes, but once it's opened up, you'll see that you're in your library. And if we just pay attention to the top of the screen, I went ahead and named this one Wildflowers Lightroom Library. That way it's very easy to identify it. And if you look on the left side, as you're already familiar with, you'll see the Toshiba Photos folder indexed in here. And you'll see all of the subfolders that you've created as well as the number of pictures in each. So let's say that we want to import something from an SD card or whatever it may be. And we want to go ahead and click the import button in the lower left corner. And in the import window here, we want to make sure that the EOS Digital, in this case, that would be the SD card, we want to make sure that it's selected. And notice that you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pictures in there, and they all have check boxes. That means that Lightroom will go ahead and import these because they've not been imported previously. And so what I suggest is just work your way down the right side column here. If for some reason you don't see that column, you simply need to click on the little gear icon that will toggle it on and off. And we want to check our destination folder, which right now is going to pictures. So I'm going to say, no, that's not where I want my photos to go. We're going to put them on the Toshiba drive in the Toshiba Photos folder. Okay, so we always want to have that one selected. Now, if you want to do, for instance, put these in the Arroyo Seco folder, then you would click into that particular folder and you would see it indicated here. But in this case, I want them right out in the Toshiba Photos folder. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a subfolder out here. We're going to call this Rex's folder. Notice I'm not using any punctuation. Again, dashes, underscores are okay. Other than that, no punctuation is recommended for folders or file names. So I'm going to hit create. And of course that drops me into Rex's folder. I'm going to choose that one. Now notice my destination folder is Rex's folder. And I'm going to check into a subfolder. And I'm going to arbitrarily put in the date like this for my subfolder name. I'm going to make sure that my organize is just into one folder. So in other words, it's not going to put another subfolder under this one by date. I just want it all going into this one subfolder. If you wanted, you could go ahead and add some keyword information here. And you could rename your files if you wanted. But I think in your workflow that you're going to wait and do that after the fact. So once you've double checked all that, we're going to hit import photos. So it's going to put them in the Toshiba drive, Toshiba Photos folder, and in the Rex's folder subfolder, and in the 2015, 11, 17 subfolder under Rex's folder. So I'm going to hit import. And we notice our progress bar up here. We give it a minute or two. And presto, we're done. We're ready to work with these photos. Now, if you look over on the left side, just to show you, I'm going to collapse down these folders just to give us a little more room here. And notice down here as I look down, there's Rex's folder. There's the subfolder that we made, and of course inside there are the pictures that we imported. If I select Toshiba Photos up here at the top, it's going to show me all 23,381 photos. That's all the photos that are in all of these folders and subfolders here. So let's work with one of the, or some of the photos that I just brought in. And let's go in here and I'm going to click on this particular one. And I can go ahead and add some keywords in here. So I'm just going to select your keyword suggestions. These are based on ones that you've already done. You could, of course, type them in here separated by commas. And you can also save a keyword set if they're going to be frequently used for different things. If you rename the file name, I'm going to strongly suggest that you leave the number value in it. That gives it a fairly unique serial number. And you can always append to the front. So in this, I'm going to call this Rex Import. And then once I click off of it, Lightroom actually renames that file. And again, in the file name, you want to only use a dash or an underscore as a good rule of thumb. And then you can move down into your copy name fields or your title and caption and add whatever other information you want that will actually be embedded into the photo itself. And so that's how we would go in and keyword and prepare a photo. Now, you could go in and hit develop, and for instance, if you wanted to crop the photo, let's choose the cropping tool. And just for an example, we'll bring that down just a touch, bring that corner in just a touch. We hit done, and now we've cropped it. And let's bring our exposure up just a little. And let's oversaturate it just a little for this example. Okay, so we made some changes to that picture. And if we go back out to the library, and let's go back to grid view, notice the changes are made to the photo. Now just to prove a point, I'm going to open this up in Finder, this one picture. So I'm going to right click it and open in Finder. And notice the original is still there untouched. Notice the difference in the cropping here versus here. Okay. Again, Lightroom does not touch your photo.